Hello students. So this is lecture number 10 in principles of inheritance and variation. In yesterday or in the previous class I was telling you about the this one, what is the dihybrid cross analysis of phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio in a dihybrid cross we have been seeing. And I told you, based on dihybrid cross, law of independent assortment was proposed by G.J. Mendel. Yesterday we have seen another point also. Law of dominance and segregation will be applicable for any kind of hybridization crosses. Whether it may be monohybrid cross or dihybrid cross or trihybrid cross, these two laws are applicable. When we can apply law of independent assortment means it is applicable only when we take more than one character. When we take more than one character, the alleles of one particular character will segregate and rejoin irrespective of or independently of other character alleles. So alleles of shape will independently assert with alleles of color. Round can join with green or wrinkled can also join with green. That is called round green and yellow, otherwise what is that, wrinkled yellow we are getting. They are called recombinant ratios. So formation of recombinant ratio is due to the independent assortment we have seen. And even yesterday I told you that there will be chromosomal theory of inheritance proposed by Sutton and Boveri. Sutton and Boveri, they amalgamated the ideas of Mendelian principle with the movement of chromosomes during meiosis. How chromosomes behave during meiosis, in the same way Mendelian factors also behave. So they came to a conclusion that factors must be located on the chromosomes. Mendelian factors must be located on the chromosomes. So existence of alleles or existence of factor could not be proved by Mendel, but that was proved by chromosomal theory of inheritance. Who proposed chromosomal theory of inheritance? That is, it was proposed by this Sutton and Boveri. Remember this point. And how they gave experimental proof we have to see here. Experimental proof for this chromosomal theory we have to see. Before going in detail about this chromosomal theory proof, we must remember that genes also occur in pairs, chromosomes also occur in pairs. Genes also segregate during gametogenesis, chromosomes also segregate during gametogenesis. Genes will undergo independent assortment with other character or more than one character. Similarly, chromosomes can also behave with independent assortment. How chromosomes behave with independent assortment? For that we have to give some explanation. There must be some proof we have to give for behavior of chromosomes. When we understand independent assortment with reference to chromosome, naturally we can understand the independent assortment with reference to gene also. That experimental proof was given by Sutton and Boveri based on meiosis. So before going in detail about that proof, let us recall meiosis, which you have studied in the first year. Meiosis, you may be remembering, in the first year there was a chapter about cell division where you studied about mitosis and meiosis. In this, meiosis can be otherwise called as reduction division. We are telling it is otherwise called as reduction division. Why it is called as reduction division? During meiosis, a diploid parental cell will become haploid daughter cells they are becoming. So number of chromosomes are reduced in the daughter cells. If parental cell has got 46 chromosomes, the daughter cell will get 23 only due to meiosis or reduction division. Of course, you may be remembering 4 such daughter cells are produced at the end of meiosis Each one of them will be having half the number of chromosomes only. This is the outline about meiosis. Now even in sexual reproduction also, gametogenesis gametes are haploid. They are formed during gametogenesis from the sperm mother cell or ovum mother cell or pollen mother cell and megaspore mother cell, like that. Now this haploid spores, haploid gametes are produced by reduction division or meiosis. Before undergoing meiosis, every cell will get ready for itself. To undergo meiosis, the cell has to prepare itself. That preparation phase is called as interphase. We are getting. It is called the interphase. And this after interphase, after getting ready for cell division, the cell will undergo real division. That is called M phase. We are telling. Okay, M phase it can be called. So there will be M phase and interphase occurring alternatively. We can call it as a cell cycle actually. During the lifetime of the cell, it will undergo such a cell cycles, interphase and M phase. You may recall another point here. Interphase can be further differentiated into G1 phase, G2 phase and S phase and then G2 phase, like that. You may recall that point. G1, S and G2, like that, it will be further differentiated for the convenience of study here. G1 phase is otherwise called gap phase 1. S phase is otherwise called synthetic phase. You may recall this. G2 is called gap phase 2. Now, after completing G1, S and G2, the cell is ready to undergo meiosis and that is called M phase. M phase will be clearly visible during or in the nucleus only. Karyokinesis it can be called. The changes happening in the nucleus can be called as karyokinesis. The changes happening in the cytoplasm can be called as cytokinesis. Here in the karyokinesis of meiosis, let me continue this one. There will be two events happening in the M phase. There will be one interphase, single interphase, followed by two M phases happening in the meiotic cell. So that meiocyte, you may be remembering that word, parental cell which undergo meiosis is called meiocyte. This meiocyte will enter into one time interphase, but two times karyokinesis, followed by first karyokinesis, first cytokinesis. Then second karyokinesis, second cytokinesis, like the two M phases and one interphase are happening in the meiosis. Now, first M phase I will tell you, that is called M phase 1 or M1 phase it can be called. First karyokinesis. Here there will be prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1 and telophase 1, like that. Four events are taking place. Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. One by one sequentially they will be taking place. Then after telophase, there will be cytokinesis 1 happening here. Cytoplasm will undergo some change. At the end of M1 phase, we will be getting two daughter cells. Remember, at a time we are not getting four daughter cells. In the beginning we will be getting two daughter cells. Later they will produce or they will undergo second M phase and they will finally they will produce four number of haploid cells. This is M1, this is M2. Remember, meiosis 1, meiosis 2. Meiosis 1 has got its own prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Similarly, after telophase there will be cytokinesis. After cytokinesis, once again M2 will start to occur. During M2 phase, there will be once again prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, then what is that? Telophase 2, like that it will undergo. Finally, we will be getting four daughter cells. Each daughter cell will be having half the number of chromosomes than the parental cell. Parental cell undergoing meiosis is called as what? Meiocyte. It will be diploid. Daughter cells produced here will be called as gametes. they will be haploid in nature. So during gametogenesis, there will be meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Meiosis 1 is characterized by M1 phase and cytokinesis 1. Meiosis 2 is characterized by M2 phase and cytokinesis 2. Then it will undergo interphase and further it may continue or it may be used. The gametes will be used for reproduction purpose. This is the cell cycle. You may recall this in the first year you have studied about it. If not, once again go through that chapter. Meiosis is an important type of cell division occurring in sexually reproducing organisms. Let us come to this point. G1 phase, S phase, G2 phase. Again prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1 and cytokinesis 1. Then prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, telophase 2. Then cytokinesis 2. Finally we will get the gametes, otherwise reproductive cells are formed here. You may recall another point. Prophase 1 is the longest phase among these things. So it will be further subdivided into 5 substages. You may be remembering leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene and diakinesis. Like that, 5 substages are there. We are not going to deal about them in detail. Let us see how this cell cycle help for chromosomal theory, how chromosomes behave during the cell cycle we are going to discuss. So there will be prophase 1 which is further differentiated into leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene and diakinesis. After that there will be M1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1, everything will happen. This is the cell cycle. Remember this point. Let me apply the chromosomal theory. Do what is that for meiosis. On the basis of meiosis, how do we get the chromosomal theory? We are going to observe here. Just let us imagine a myocyte or a parental cell. Let us take. It is having 2n number is what is that? 4 chromosomes. Let us imagine. 2n number is 4 chromosomes. Those 4 chromosomes, let me draw here. This is the parental cell. Imagine. In your textbook, they have given different colors. Here, I will explain you with different colors as well as different alleles also we will take into consideration. 1 minute. Imagine this is the first chromosome I am drawing. This is the second chromosome. Third chromosome is here. And the fourth chromosome, let us draw like this. 2n is equal to 4. This is the parental cell. Imagine now among these 4 chromosomes, this is first paternal. This is second paternal. This is first maternal. I am sorry. First paternal, first maternal. Let us consider this one as second paternal, this one as second maternal. So 2n is 4 means we have taken 2 pairs of chromosomes, 2 homologous chromosomes we have taken here. One pair is first paternal and first maternal, second pair is second paternal and second maternal. These are the homologous pair. This is one pair, this is another pair. Let us imagine now, in the first pair, first paternal, we are taking the capital R here. One allele let us take. This allele is located in the first paternal chromosome. Round shape allele we can say. This is small r allele is located here in the first maternal. Both of them are alleles because they refer to the shape of the chromosome here. So the shape of the chromosome is taken here. They are what is that shape of the seeds. I am sorry. Shape of the seeds are taken here. Round and wrinkled seed we are taking. Let us imagine the second pair of homologous chromosome is there. No, they are representing the color of the seed we can take. this is having yellow color allele in this. Second maternal is having green color allele, small y here. Same capital R, capital Y, small y. We have taken them on different chromosomes. First paternal has got capital R, first maternal has got small r, second maternal, capital Y, small y we have taken. Now this is what is that at the time of G1 phase, this cell will be appearing like this. The cell will be appearing in the G1 phase like this with the condensed chromosome. The chromosomes become somewhat clearly visible during this stage. Of course, in metaphase it will be still clearly visible. During G1 phase itself, the chromosomes are getting ready for the M phase. Now, this is the G1 phase. What happens in the next thing means S phase will be happening. S phase means the chromosomes will undergo doubling. The doubling of DNA. S phase, I was telling you, during S phase, it is called a synthetic phase. During S phase, the chromosomes, what happens? The constituent of the chromosome will double. The single N, otherwise 2C content of the chromosome will become 4C. You may recall this in the first year book. This is the chromosomes or the DNA present in the chromosome double during S phase. So after S phase, how the cell will appear or nucleus will appear in the G2 phase, let us see here. This I am directly drawing the diagram of G2 phase. Let us not bother about S phase diagram. It is continuous. Imagine after G1, S phase and G2 phase. In the G2 phase, what happens with the double content? Imagine this is the first paternal chromosome appearing double. Two chromatids were formed. These two chromatids they are called, but the whole thing is called one chromosome. This is one chromosome. There are two arms. Otherwise, two chromatids are present here. These two chromatids are held by a single centromere. They are called sister chromatids. So, first paternal have become two sister. It has got two sister chromatids. This is the after S phase. During G2 phase, the chromosome will appear like this. Let us come to the first maternal chromosome. It will also, or it has also undergone duplication during S phase. It also becomes with two chromatid. Third, second paternal, if you observe, means second paternal will be appearing like this, and second maternal will be appearing like this. I hope you understand this point. Each chromosome doubles its content during S phase. Why that doubling takes place, we will see, because at the end we have to distribute it to 4 people. We have 100 rupees, imagine. It must be given to 4 people. But one condition here is each should get 50-50 rupees. Imagine 100 rupees should be distributed to 4 persons, each with 50 rupees. That means here somewhere I have to double the number. 100 should be made into 200, then only I can give 50-50 to 4 people. That doubling is happening during what? S phase. After S phase, the chromosome, the cell will be looking like this with its chromosomal content. Okay. Now, what about the alleles here means? If first paternal has got capital R allele here, naturally its sister chromatid will also have got, will become double R. So capital R, this is doubled, that's all. Small r will be like this, small r, it has got doubled like this. Capital Y is here one capital Y, it will become small y is here and here one small y in this chromosome. Homologous, loci means position, homo means similar. In the similar position, they will be having these alleles. Here also, color alleles are present in the second paternal, capital Y. Same color allele will be present in second maternal, small y. That is why they are called homologous pair. This is homologous pair. Which one? The second paternal and second maternal. But these two are sister chromatid. Remember this point. I will explain this idea separately here. Imagine this is the second maternal I have taken. Second paternal, I am sorry. Second paternal I have taken here. This one is second maternal I am taking. This is second paternal. This is second maternal. How many chromosomes are there? 2 chromosomes are there. This is one chromosome, this is one chromosome. When there are 2 chromosomes, it will be called as a bivalent condition we are telling. It is called a bivalent condition. In this bivalent condition, how many chromatids are there? 4 chromatids are there. Please check. This is first, second, third and fourth. 4 chromatids are there. So a bivalent can be otherwise called as a tetrad also. A bivalent is otherwise called as what is that? Tetrad. With reference to chromatid number, they are tetrad. With reference to chromosome number, they are bivalent. Bivalent term indicates number of chromosomes. Tetrad refers to number of arms, otherwise number of chromatids. Please listen, out of these 4 chromatids, 1 and 2 are called sister chromatids because they are attached with the same centromere here. 3 and 4 are called sister chromatids. But 2 and 3 cannot be sister chromatid. They are called non-sister chromatid. 1 and 4 are called non-sister. But 1 and 2 are called sister chromatid. 3 and 4 are called sister chromatid. This is called tetrad and bivalent chromosome. In 2n is equal to 4 condition, how many bivalent we have? 2 bivalents. This is one bivalent, this is another bivalent. These two are homologous pair. These two are homologous. Why they are homologous pair? Because they have shape, allele for the shape only. Here allele for the color. So they are called homologous chromosome, homologous pair, bivalent and tetrad. With reference to number of whole chromosome, it is bivalent. With reference to number of chromatid, it is tetrad. 1, 2, 3, 4 tetrads are present. Out of them, 1 and 2 are sister chromatid, 3 and 4 are sister chromatid. But 2 and 3 are non-sister, 1 and 4 are non-sister. Remember, I hope you understood the diagram of this G2 phase. Let us see now what happens in the further division. What are the further division? After G2, they will undergo prophase 1, metaphase 1. Let us remember, prophase 1 has been completed here, metaphase 1 has been completed here. Let us go to anaphase 1. Anaphase 1 we are going to discuss here. Very important, try to listen this point. Anaphase 1 plays a significant role during cell division or meiosis. Remember, let us forget about P1 and M1, metaphase and prophase. Directly we will see the cell at the time of anaphase. What happens in the anaphase means the homologous chromosomes will move away from each other. Remember that point, homologous chromosomes will move away from each other. The bivalent will start separating. Second paternal will move away from second maternal. First paternal will move away from first maternal. They will segregate. So segregation happens at the time of what? Anaphase 1. That's why anaphase 1 is significant, we can say. Dear students, remember it easily. During this anaphase 1, there are 2 possibilities. Do you understand this point? There are 2 possibilities of separation of homologous chromosomes. Imagine one possibility. Let me write it as possibility 1. This is the diagram given in your NCERT book at page number 82. Okay, page number 81 and 82 together I am drawing the same diagram with the possibility 1 here and possibility 2 here. Let me write in this case. What is the possibility 1 means? What is our aim during anaphase 1? Homologous chromosomes should separate from each other. Okay. Imagine this is one possibility where first paternal has come this side. Color I am taking, and second paternal has come this side. Imagine, to this pole, first paternal and second paternal have come one side. This is first paternal, this is second paternal, this is having capital R, this is having capital Y. Do you get this point? This will come to one pole of the stem. There is what about remaining one? Second paternal, first maternal and second maternal will come to one side. First maternal and second paternal have come to one side. First maternal and second maternal will come to another side. Listen here. This is another pole of the cell. Who is this? First maternal. I am drawing this one, and this one is second maternal. Remember, there is one possibility of separation of homologous chromosome, where paternal chromosomes have come to one pole, maternal chromosomes have come to one pole. Do you get this point? This is first paternal, second paternal. They have come to one pole. First maternal and second maternal have come to another pole. Which allele is there in the first maternal? First maternal has got small r. Who is there in this one? Second maternal, small y. I hope you get this point. This is one way of separation of homologous chromosomes. One interesting point is, during anaphase 1, what are the changes happening? Homologous pair separate. That is the first point. Second important point you have to remember, don't forget here, is when they separate, their centromere does not divide. Please remember this point. In anaphase 1, what is the second important point? Means centromere does not divide. Very important point. Centromere does not divide during first anaphase. In anaphase 1, two changes are happening. Homologous chromosome will separate. First paternal, first maternal will separate. So that first paternal will go to one pole, first maternal will come to another pole. See here, this one has come here and M1M has come this side. Similarly, second paternal, second maternal will segregate. So that the second paternal will go to one pole, second maternal will go to another pole. Like this, they will be rearranged towards different poles. Rearranged not within the metaphase plane. They will be moving towards the pole. Why they are moving towards the pole? During anaphase, spindle fibers will pull those chromosomes. So because of that, they will separate. How they are separating? There are two possibilities. In first possibilities, both paternals will go one side, both maternals will go another side, one pole. But there is another possibility also. Remember this point. In the second possibility, it can happen like this also, is not? First paternal and first maternal can come one side. One paternal, one maternal can come to one pole. Another paternal, another maternal can come to another pole. That is also possible. Please listen, I will draw this diagram, you will understand this. This is first paternal, and instead of second paternal coming here, second paternal coming here, let us imagine second maternal comes here. Otherwise, first paternal is here. With which chromosome, which alleles they are having? Capital R. Who has to come another side? One maternal has to come another side. That means another chromosome, another color allele should come this side. Here we got capital Y. Let us take small y here. Imagine this point. These two are, this is first paternal, this is second maternal. This is one possibility where small y are there. They will come to one pole. What about opposite, another pole? Here yellow chromosome, that means first maternal is here, imagine. But second maternal will not come here. Second paternal comes here, imagine. Second paternal. Let me draw this chromosome in this case. Second paternal. So remember students, if both the paternals can go one side, both maternals can come another side, that is one possibility, possibility one. Otherwise, one paternal, one maternal, another paternal, another maternal, they can come to another side. Listen to this point. Second paternal is having small r, sorry, capital Y here. Capital Y, capital Y. Second paternal, capital Y. What about first maternal? First maternal, small r. It is having. Okay. Small r here and capital Y is here. Here capital R, small y. Here small r, capital Y. Here capital R, Y, small r. Let us continue further, you will understand it. Listen to me. The next stage will be after anaphase 1. They will undergo telophase 1, then cytokinesis 1, then prophase 1, metaphase 1. Let us come directly to anaphase 2. Let us not bother about these intermediate steps. We are not going to deal about meiosis here. We are dealing about behavior of chromosomes. Let me directly come to which phase now? Anaphase 2. When will anaphase 2 happen? It will happen after telophase 1, cytokinesis 1, prophase 1, metaphase 1. After all these events, directly we come to anaphase 1. Now, already there was cytokinesis, so this cell has undergone cytoplasmic division. But what happens during anaphase 1? Here also, these chromosomes, this pair will move away from each other. Because I told you, 2-time karyokinesis, 1-time cytokinesis. That is the characteristic feature of meiosis. Now here I am talking M2, anaphase 2. Here also once again the chromosomes move towards their pole. So first up to this is meiosis 1. Now it is meiosis 2 I am talking. In the meiosis 2 once again one anaphase is happening. During that anaphase further these chromosomes will separate. So at the end of anaphase 2 we will be getting, here also further separation has happened during anaphase 2. So at the end of this one, we will be getting 4 daughter cells like this. These are 2 daughter cells. These are 2 daughter cells. Anaphase, and even imagine at the end here telophase 2 also. At the end you will be getting 4 daughter cells. But one important point is, in anaphase 1, centromere does not divide. But in anaphase 2, remember students, centromere divides. Centromere divides in anaphase 2. That means this centromere, here it will divide. Sister chromatid will separate. First in the anaphase 1, bivalent got separated. In anaphase 2, sister chromatid will separate. This will come one side, this arm will come one side, that arm will go another side. Let us see here. Imagine this, I am talking about this area only now. This will give rise to these 2 cells means. Imagine, we are talking about 2 possibilities. This will give rise to the telophase 1, it is telophase. After telophase, once again it is undergoing prophase, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, then telophase 2. At the end of telophase, this possibility will give us 4 daughter cells. I am sorry, 1 minute. There will be 4 possibilities or 4 daughter cells from this possibility. This is possibility 1. which has undergone anaphase 1, then anaphase 2, finally it will give rise to 4 daughter cells. Let us come to possibility 2. What is possibility 2? One paternal, one maternal will come to one pole, another paternal, another maternal will go to another pole. That is possibility 2. What is possibility 1? Both paternals will be one side, both maternals will be one side. So, now you see, when centromere divides, you will be getting one chromatid here. They have become separated, centromere divided. And here, you will be getting one structure like this. Please listen, what genes they have? One is having capital R, another one is having capital Y. What about another chromatid, sir? Means this another chromatid will also come to this cell here, and here you will be getting another R like this. What will be their alleles? Here also capital R and another one is capital Y, let us say. This is one gamete. What about these two, sir? Means, imagine this parent, this after telophase 2, telophase 1, it will undergo this anaphase 2. Let us take here yellow color with first maternal, one of the sister chromatid, here one another sister chromatid. What about this one, pink color? Here one sister chromatid, here one sister chromatid. What are the alleles present there? Small r here, here also small r. What about this one? Small y, and here also small r. Do you get this point? Now these are called gametes. Please listen, what type of gametes are produced at the end of possibility 1? One gamete is with capital R, capital Y. Do you get this? Another gamete is with capital R, capital Y. Third gamete will be with a small r, small y, and another fourth gamete will be with a small r, small y. This is one possibility. First possibility, page number 82 in your NCERT book, you have to check. Compare this. In textbook they have given only color. I have taken alleles also and explaining along with alleles. So remember this point. Let us come to this point. After anaphase 2, how these chromosomes have behaved? Centromere divides, I told you. So centromere divides. Sister chromatids separate. Homologous pair has separated in anaphase 1. Whereas here sister chromatid, because centromere does not divide there. Here centromere divides. Please listen here. This is one daughter cell, second daughter cell, third daughter cell, fourth daughter cell at the end of anaphase. Let us see here. Imagine this is one of the paternal, first paternal, another sister chromatid. And here if you take means pink color, where this one is here, this one is here. Get this point? Now, what are the alleles present there? It is having capital R, so capital R. What is the allele present here? Small y, so small y. So this is small y. What about these two chromosomes, how they behave? You can get one yellow color, another yellow color here. Then one of the second paternal chromosome like this, a color, saffron color like this. You can take small r and small r. What about this one? Capital Y and capital Y. I hope you got this thing. What are these gametes? Listen. This is capital R small y. This is capital R small y. This is small r capital Y. This one is small r small y. Sorry, small r capital Y. Do you get this point? Capital R small y, capital R small y, small r capital Y, small r capital Y. These gametes are different. These gametes are different. If when both paternal go one side and maternal come another side, you will be getting double homozygous and double homozygous gametes only it will be producing. This will give rise to round yellow, wrinkled green. Parental combinations have come. When paternal go one side, maternal go one side, gametes will be representing parental combination. If one paternal, one maternal goes another side, one side, another paternal, another maternal comes another side. Remember what will be the gamete? Capital R, small y. What is capital R, small y? Round green. Round green. This is what is small r, capital Y? Wrinkled yellow. Wrinkled yellow. So round green, wrinkled yellow are possible due to possibility number 2. Who are round green and wrinkled yellow? They are not parental. They are recombinants. Is it or not? Round green and wrinkled yellow we never took. But here it is possible. That is what Sutton and Boveri proved. How is recombinant possible means that is due to the segregation of chromosomes. In the 2 times they segregate because 2 time karyokinesis, 1 time cytokinesis. 1 time cytokinesis will give rise to 2 daughter cell. Second time cytokinesis will give rise to 4 daughter cell. I have not drawn 2 daughter cells here. Directly I have come to anaphase 2 as it is given in your book. Now you see, you can appreciate this event of meiosis. When is it possible? How to get a recombinant varieties? It is due to the segregation of chromosomes. If both paternal go one side and both maternal come one side, you will be getting parental combination. One paternal, one maternal, another paternal, another maternal. Like that they separate. You will get recombinant varieties. Dear students, you may be remembering meiocytes. We are talking about one meiocyte possibility. In plant or animal cells, there will be so many number of pollen mother cell or egg mother cell, megaspore mother cell. In animals, there will be spermatogonial and oogonial cells like that. Those gonial cells or mother cells are called meiocyte. So some of the meiocytes will undergo possibility 1. Some of the meiocyte will undergo possibility 2. So they will be able to get all the possible gametes. Are you getting this point? How many types of gametes are produced? Capital R, capital Y. Capital R, small y. Small r, capital Y, small r, small y. 4 types are produced, these 2 are one type, these 2 are one type, these 2 are one type. 4 types are produced. That's why in Punnett square, I have drawn 4 types of gametes. How is this 4 types of gametes are possible? Because number of meiocytes we take will be different. With one meiocyte, I have told you 2 possibilities. So imagine if I take 25 meiocyte, some 12 will undergo possibility 1, some another 13 will undergo possibility 2. But ultimately, how many types of gametes we get? 4 types of gametes only. There will be, if at all, this will join with this one like that. If maternal, paternal, you take Punnett square, you imagine, you will be getting round green also. Instead of round yellow, round green also possible. Do you understand how recombinants are produced? How chromosome behave during meiosis? And now you can understand the allele movement and the chromosomal movement are each other, depending upon each other, they are similar to each other. That is called chromosomal theory of inheritance proposed by Sutton and Boveri. What they told? Genes are located on chromosomes. They also occur in pair. Chromosome also occur in pair. Capital R, small r occur in pair. First paternal, first maternal occur in pair. So they occur in pair. They segregate during meiosis or they segregate during gametogenesis. Here you have seen the segregation. How many possibility segregations are there? 2 possibilities. During first possible segregation, paternal pair will go one side, maternal pair will come one side. During second possibility or in the second possibility, one paternal, one maternal, another paternal, another maternal. Do you understand this? That is responsible for all the 4 types of gametes. Later what will happen? These are male gametes, imagine. In the same way, female meiocyte will also produce 4 types of gametes, like this only. It will also undergo all the possibilities and it will also produce 4 types of gametes. Now come the fertilization. During fertilization, This has got a chance to fuse with this one. This is male gamete, imagine. These are all male. These are all female. This will join with this one, or this will join with this one, this one, this one. 4 possibilities for each male gamete. That means 16 total possibilities. That's what we have seen in the Punnett square. That is where we got round green, wrinkled yellow, all are possible. So, independent assortment happens not only in alleles, what Mendel told in 1865. In 1902, it was theoretically or experimentally proved with the behavior of chromosome. So, what Sutton and Boveri told means gene behavior and chromosome behavior are similar. That means existence of gene will be in the chromosome only. This is the idea given by Sutton and Boveri. You must recall what is bivalent, what is tetrad, what is the significance. I hope you, among the so many stages of cell cycle, who plays the important role, significant role? This is anaphase. Why? Because this anaphase one only decides which should go which side, whether both paternal should go one side or maternal should go one side. That is decided during anaphase one only. How is it possible? Because centromere does not divide. Don't forget this point. In meiosis 1, anaphase 1, centromere does not divide. Please students remember, actual reduction of number of chromosomes takes place in the anaphase 1 only. Meiosis 1 is the actual reduction division. Meiosis 2 is just segregating only. In meiosis 2, once again you are not dividing number of chromosomes. You see, I have taken one chromatid. Here also one chromatid only. Parental cell, daughter cell. Then why sir you are drawing 2 chromatid here means? That is due to S phase. It has doubled. I got 100 rupees, but I have to give to 4 people. That means I have to double that 100 rupees. When it is doubled during S phase. So S phase it get doubled. This is chromosome. This is also chromosome, but it is, what is that? 2 chromatid containing chromosome. Duplicated chromosome it can be called. So this is, here you can see 2n is equal to 4 chromosome. Here 2n is equal to 1 only. Otherwise it is only 2 chromosomes are there. That is why it is called n is equal to 2. That's why they are gametes. Gametes cannot become diploid individual unless fertilization happens. If fertilization happens between them, they will become diploid with 4. You see, capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. They will become. When? Only after fertilization. But here I am talking about gametogenesis. I made it clear. Try to go through this, an important concept where you have to understand the significance of anaphase 1. So during meiosis, how chromosome behave means it is just like how alleles behave in Mendelian dihybrid cross. So there is a possibility of different gametes, I told you. This is one possibility, this is another possibility. Same thing we are going to observe in the next class. Related to one more animal example. Drosophila melanogaster we are going to take, and there we are going to see how the chromosome behave with reference to 4 alleles. Here how many alleles I have taken? 4 alleles. Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Please go through this. I will give you 1 minute time. Make note of this diagram. Either you can give different color or you can give this what are that symbols. In your textbook, they have given colors only, symbols are not given. If possible, there in the textbook itself, in page number 82, you can write those symbols also. It is easy to understand. And in your textbook, 2 chromosomes are drawn lengthy, other 2 chromosomes are drawn smaller. But here I have taken all the 4 chromosomes equal length, so that we can understand the concept clearly. That is the difference. Make note of this point. We will continue in the next class.
ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ.